So they're saying there's an upsurge in black and white weddings. Black people finding love with whites and whites finding with black. And hitherto I don't understand what's the problem. Well, of course, there's a super race and the super boys. They're the most important and most powerful nation in the earth and so on. And therefore, it's genetic, and so they don't want to mix theirs with the inferior blacks and the whole nine yards, as they will talk. Some people even use scriptures to show that you should be unequally yoked, and they know very well it wasn't talking about that. But you see, churchmen were saying that in the South and all over the place, and that just shows how uninformed they were of the scriptures. Because if they remember correctly, black people were the first superpower, and they invented almost everything that we have modernized and taken to the next level: surgery, road construction, sewer, the books, education, agriculture, study of the astronomy, studying the sun, distance to the moon and to the sun, just a couple feet off, and so on. Black folks were it. But they start doing stuff that God asked them not, and they're saying, "Who's God?" And then the next thing is like they were over. Babylon came on, and that's the Asian people there, Babylon, Iraq, then Medo Persia, Iran, and then Greece, and then Rome, and then Babylon. I mean, Greece, Rome, and then Germany, and then we are here today. And so they normally tell us now that the Asians are smartest, whites are second, and blacks are last. It's not even in a reverse order, because blacks were supposed to be smartest. God said it, and Asians second and whites last. Now, let me show you where it says it. In Daniel, there where it talks about the image, and it says that you Babylon, you Nebuchadnezzar, you the head of gold, and then the Medo Persia was the bronze, and then Greece was. Medo Persia was silver, and then Greece was bronze, and Rome was iron, and then in our time it's clay. And so he says that as the material depreciate in value, so would the people be superior to the ones that come in after, the ones coming after the inferior. Now, I don't think he meant necessarily that as humans we are inferior to each other. I'm just trying to be nice here for God. I don't understand what he means by that. But I'm seeing it in a way that because of the beginning, and others were just playing, and blacks organized real quick, developed military science and all these various things, bombing science and all that stuff, and then others came and took it to the next level. Then perhaps that's what he's talking about. But in this image of Daniel, blacks weren't included because he was speaking to the Babylon, who had conquered Egypt. So if he were speaking to Egypt, he would say that you are the crown of diamonds. And then you say the next one coming up will be Babylon, and will be gold. And the next one will be silver, that's Medo Persia, and so on. But even today, you look at Iraq and Iran. Iran seems to be superior because they have better war machines and more money in the whole 9 yards. Though the people have that same self-worth and they'll fight to the death as when they had the war, it became a stalemate. But Egypt, though, there's where the blacks were, because the whites would tell us that you're the sons of Ham and you're from Egypt and you were to serve your brothers. They know the code that real good, but they don't want to code it and show that black people were the ones that invented all the stuff they have. They're trying to make it look as if it's these Arabs or these any other person than a black person is good. You know what I mean? And so whites have distinguished themselves, of course. They brought the Christian Reformation, they brought nuclear arms and all these killer machines, and they've taken what the ancients have done to the modern level and modernized it and so forth. Even though a couple hundred years ago in the Middle Ages things were real bad. It looks as if they would never get it done. But then, of course, the Christian Reformation came on, and God is the one who gives people wisdom anyway. He gave the Egyptians all the folks down the road. But as we turn our backs on him, we end up just back like Africa, you know what I mean? And so now with this upsurge of black and white marriage, I wonder if it has anything to do with Obama. After I've said that, both black and whites are powerful. Traditionally got their own tradition back, but I don't know if Obama being a mixed child, that person that it is causing folks to want to have some more Obamas, you know. But let me show you though that while I agree that you can marry anybody you want, and of course blacks were powerful, whites are powerful today, and I don't understand. There's no inferior nowhere anyhow. Okay. Um, but there's going to be a second Obama. I don't think there's going to be a second black president in America. Because you got to remember that it looks as if America was going to collapse. And I saw Obama as being a man of God that God inspired to go and run for the presidency, knowing that he's going to have an open mind and he's going to be compassionate and he's going to be caring about America. Because you remember, everybody around that time was saying that let the weak fail, let the strong pull themselves up by the bootstrap. Now you can't do that, because sometimes what causes bankruptcy in a lot of these stars, they have a whole bunch of assets, but they don't have money to pay the current expenditures. They got all these big properties and all that they can't maintain, and cash flow is a problem. But if you could help them up with some cash flow, like what he helped GM and these banks and all this with, then they could come back and pay you back and everything is going to be good. But if you let them die, they die and go on, and then some other country takes up the slack and put you further back in your balance of payments, in your deficit spending, and so on. And so, they thought everything would have collapsed, so I guess they relaxed, or he came through with more fervor, and more pathos and ethos and charisma, in spite of the gloom and so forth, with confidence and hope and so on. And he won. But I don't think the whites can do that again. The next time things look bad like this, they're going to say, no, we're going to make sure this finished first. When it collapsed completely, then we're going to say, a black person, you could take over here if you want. You know what I mean? But I think that there's going to be another one like that. No next Obama, because I think Obama's going to get 8 years. And after his 8 years, he would catapult us to a certain level up there that even though these fellas going back to doing the stuff they were doing in the past, I don't know how quickly they can get back to 08 or worse than 08. But I think subsequently the Lord is going to come even before that or whatever. So there's going to be no second Obama. And all these black, white mamas and papas, I'm glad that you're open-minded and you can find love wherever you feel like and all the next. And so, but don't plan for next Obama. This is the only one, and there gonna be a next Obama. Thank you very much.